All right. It's day 30 and it's time to officially have my first weigh-in. Oh, hey, buddy. I'm really nervous because... You want to start over?
I won't click.
This past Saturday, the 4th of January, 2025, marks my 30-day milestone on Carnivore, and it's been a wild ride. So today I'm going to show you my 30-day weigh-in, talk about what changed for me, good or bad, also how I celebrated this milestone, because I think it's nice to have something to look forward to, especially when you're doing a diet that a lot of people would consider restrictive. Now, I highly discourage weighing yourself more than once a week. I personally don't do it even more than once a month, because I have a history of eating disorders and I don't want to reignite those obsessive habits that I used to have.
Go.
All right, it's time for my first weigh-in. We're at day 30. I made it all the way without cheating. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Like, I'd love to be under 300 pounds, but I'm at peace with the fact that I probably won't be. And this is more about just tracking the numbers to keep track of everything. So here we go. I guess I should have taken this out. Good?
Yep.
All right, we were having some technical difficulties, but I think we're back now. Let's do it. All right, take a look.
What is it? 304?
I would guess when I started a month ago, I was around 320.
Nice.
So, all things considered, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yay.
So, all right, well, maybe be back here in another 30 days. Now, I've been stuck over 300 pounds since I first got on my beta blocker medication, my blood pressure medication. I started gaining weight really fast, and it's been really hard to lose weight because it keeps my heart rate super low. It doesn't really get above 60, and it's usually sitting around 50. So it slows my metabolism way down, and it takes me a lot longer to lose weight now. So I was a little sad when I was still over 300, but Rosie pointed out that my clothes fit a lot better than they did a month ago, and that I look sexier overall, her words. So that is good enough for me. You know, that shows that my body composition is changing. I'm also putting on muscle, I know, because I've been doing kettlebell workouts, I've been doing CrossFit, and I've been doing yoga, which involves a lot of body weight, like holding up my body weight. So that's going to be building muscle. But to celebrate 30 days, we had a delicious and succulent surf and turf dinner. I thought about taking us out to celebrate, but instead I decided to go grocery shopping and look for sales, which, I mean, these days is a whole lot of fun. I ended up investing over $280 in Carnivore foods. You know, it sounds like a lot, but when I consider that we used to go out to eat 2 to 3 times a week, and that was around $50 a meal, you know, that's $400 or $500 a month. That really adds up. So spending $280 on groceries that are going to last me a month or more maybe is a pretty good investment, and it's an investment in my health and my future. And nothing I bought was over $10 a pound, so everything was a great value. I originally went to this grocery store because they were advertising New York strip was only $7.88 a pound, and then I got there and saw there were even more great deals. Rib roast was $9 a pound, so I got a whole rib roast, and I cut one side of it into a smaller roast that we're going to actually do prime rib with, and then I cut 2 really thick ribeyes out of it. Pork belly was $6.99 a pound, so I got one of those, and lobster tails were only $6.88 per tail. So I made Rosie and I a delicious surf and turf dinner at home. Now, I spent $27.52 on 4 lobster tails, and then I spent $17.06 on 3 New York strips. We could have gone out to celebrate at Red Lobster if we want surf and turf, but there one lobster tail and one New York strip is $47.98. And it comes with all this garbage that I would just waste anyway. And that only feeds one of us for almost $50. But our 4 lobster tails and 3 New York strips only costs $44.58 total. It probably tasted better too because I cooked it myself at home with really good butter. It became 3 meals for us. When you do the math, it's a no-brainer. All right, just a quick aside to say how I cooked the steak and lobster. First, I cut the lobster tails in half with meat shears down the center, making the 4 tails into 8 pieces. Then I melted some salted butter in a pan with a bit of avocado oil on medium-low heat with some garlic to infuse the butter with a garlicky taste. I mean, it's lobster. You gotta. The garlic, it was just, crushed to peel it and then cut in half. Nothing too complicated. Also, the avocado oil helps the butter not to burn when it gets to those higher temperatures. Once the butter was smoking just a little bit, I put the lobster in flesh side down and sauteed for about 5 minutes. Once the shells started to turn a bit red, I flipped them and cooked the shell side down for an additional few minutes until the meat was no longer translucent at all. I took those out to rest and I got the butter even hotter for the steaks. So I put the steaks in and then I flipped those every minute, keeping an eye on the internal temp. I was hoping I could get a decent sear, but since it was butter in the pan, it really didn't get hot enough to sear the meat. It was more like just boiling the meat in butter. So once the steaks were just over 100 degrees internal, I took them off and cleaned my pan. They were infused with that nice lobstery, buttery taste and garlic, but I needed to sear them and get a little bit of a crust. So I added some ghee to the pan because it has a higher smoke point, and I heated that on a medium-high heat until it was smoking. Then I tossed in the strips for about a minute per side. That got it just enough crust to pass for a decent steak. Then I poured the hot ghee over the lobster tails to warm them up a bit before serving.
I'm so nervous.
You can just rip it out of there. Oh, yeah, rip the shell off. I don't know. I never eat lobster.
I don't either.
Nice. What if it sucks?
It's really good.
Can I see the cross section
Of the lobster.
where you ripped it? Okay. You like it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How about the steak?
Mm-hmm.
She did say it was the best lobster she had ever had. So I'll take that as a success. I want to eat it now. So I highly recommend celebrating your milestones with a special dinner, and going out is great if you want to.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
But if money is an issue, then cook it at home and it will be a lot cheaper for something just as extravagant. So I've noticed a few significant changes in myself in the past 30 days. All the normal things that others always say. I stopped snoring, I sleep really well, my joint pain went away, I have more energy, more focus, all that stuff. There's more room in my clothes. My workout recovery time is like half what it was before. After doing CrossFit the other day, the first time I did it, it was like 4 or 5 days of super soreness. Last time I did it, I just started CrossFit again just last week, and I was only sore for 2 days. And now I'm fine, and I'm going to go back again Tuesday. Here's something that was really significant for me. I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, if you saw my story video, and ever since then, and for a few years before that, I didn't know what was going on, but I had protein in my pee. I had little white floaters that my pee would get all frothy in the bowl, and then the bubbles would pop, but it would still be frothy on top, and there'd be these little white specks floating in the water. And that was because my kidneys weren't able to clean all the protein out of the pee, so it was just getting through. And It had been like that for a few years. But now, after 30 days of carnivore, I've noticed like about the past week, my pee's been clear. Like I'll still get bubbles, but they'll pop pretty soon and it's completely clear, which is a huge change for me. I didn't think that would ever go away. To see it go away in just 30 days is pretty huge, which is a sign to me that my kidneys are functioning the way they're supposed to be now. And I will be getting my blood work done in 5 months. Once I hit the 6-month mark on carnivore, and I'm going to compare it to my last set of blood work. The fact that the protein in the pea has cleared up is a really big green flag, like things are looking good. Another thing is that I've become so much more productive. This is a huge one for me because I've always struggled with procrastination and always blamed my ADHD. I always had trouble focusing in school and even with work the past 10 years. But doing this has not only helped me focus better, but I'm just more productive. I want to get stuff done. I'm more inspired to do things now because, you only have so much time to get stuff done. And if you waste it, it's gone. So it's really, really nice. And really, it's a big relief off of my mind to be productive again. Because it takes a mental toll when you're not able to be productive. But something about that diet gave me more focus. And that's so cool. Kind of hand in hand with that is this next thing. My anxiety is much better. I'm the kind of person who worries about things that will absolutely never happen. I'm a chronic thinker ahead, and it drives Rosie nuts. But, it keeps me safe, but it also spikes my blood pressure a lot because it leads to serious anxiety for me. So in the past week, I've noticed a huge shift in that. I'm able to be more honest and laid back because I don't worry about what people will think of me anymore. I've been able to open up about my failures and my eating disorders and a lot more things that I would have felt embarrassed about before, but now I can just accept and move on. And I think it's because I don't have that anxiety anymore. Like, oh no, what will people think? I don't care. I'm doing me. I feel good about who I am right now. And I'm not going to worry about what other people are thinking of me, especially strangers on the internet. Except right now, because my heater just turned on. Hopefully it's not too loud. Another thing, my family life has improved. I'm a better husband and father. Before, I was always so tired, and I had a hard time making any kind of extra effort to help Rosie around the house or take River off her hands or something. Now I literally look for things to help out because I want to be busy now. I just want to be the best man I can be. And it's such a change from what it was before. I think having that proper nutrition has made me feel the way I did when I was a teenager. I was like, I want to be the best husband ever. We all kind of want to, and then we get married and we realize how hard life is, and things like that suffer. But now that I'm properly, I have proper nutrition again, I feel like I want to do everything I possibly can to make my family happy again. And that's really nice. It makes me feel good about who I am as a dad and a father and a son. And I really want that to keep up. So I'm grateful to Carnivore for that. Another thing is that I have more passion for music, which is my true passion in life. In the past, I had to quit multiple bands. I had to quit teaching multiple people lessons because I was just getting so overwhelmed with my own life that I couldn't handle that stuff. The social aspect of it, any of it, When I used to eat a normal diet, I always felt gross about who I was and my body and stuff, and I just didn't want to be around people, especially playing in bands and teaching lessons where it's kind of an intimate experience. I just couldn't handle all that, and which is really sad. But now I teach multiple people lessons every week, regularly, I play in a band regularly, and I run a couple YouTube channels, this one, and then my music YouTube channel, and that involves doing 2 live streams a week, talking to people, and I really enjoy it now. I'm so passionate about the music that I discover on my streams and sharing it with other people, just helping to support the indie music scene in general is a real passion for me, and I'm so glad to have that passion back. A combination of taking care of my health and discovering the amazing music scene in Japan and other parts of the world. It just gives me so much passion for music again. So there's that. I'm also more social than I used to be. This is the next thing. I used to have such bad social anxiety. Like I touched on in the last one, I would stay home for weeks at a time because I just didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to have to interact with anybody. My dad left the family when I was a teenager, and I didn't leave the house for like 3 months. Some friends had to come to my house and check on me and make sure I was okay. It was always a problem for me, social anxiety. But now I really enjoy spending time with people. I actually have the confidence to put in effort to talk to strangers or get to know people I don't know very well, ask them questions about themselves, get to know their stories. And it's probably the same reason my anxiety is better. It's just Carnivore makes me calm and makes me see the world with, childlike wonder again. Like, I want to get to know people and their stories and stuff. And I'm also more consistent now. My first 2 weeks on Carnivore this time around were really rough. Even up to the 3-week point, I was struggling with cravings at times. But since I crossed that 3-week mark, things have just gotten so much better. Not just with my diet, but with other habits in life. I've become more consistent. I've been setting daily goals of physical activities like walks, yoga, CrossFit twice a week. And I've actually had the motivation to do them. On other diets in the past, like I just talked about, I'd be so exhausted and worn out that getting to the gym was extremely difficult. It took every bit of willpower I had to get there. And while I was there, I was worried about what people were thinking of me. What's this fat guy doing at the gym? Which obviously I needed to be there, but you just don't want to be seen. Now I'm still obviously have a lot of weight to lose, but I don't feel fat on the inside. I don't feel gross. I just, I'm on my way, and I feel confident about who I am and that it will improve over time if I stay consistent on this. So it's just absolutely insane what it does for your brain. And I think it's because, fat is so essential for your brain health, but I think just having the proper nutrition really helps balance out all those hormones that control your mind and all the things that make you anxious and make you worry about what other people think and make you lose focus and just all this stuff. It's crazy. Another thing, I'm less irritable. Things just don't get to me anymore. Things that used to annoy me, I don't care anymore. I just go with the flow. Another thing, I don't need to wear sunglasses anymore. Like, it's super bright outside, especially when there's snow on the ground. It's super bright. I used to always have to wear sunglasses. Now, doesn't matter how bright it is outside. I'm just wearing my normal glasses and it's fine. Light sensitivity has gone way down, which I think is really cool. And now I'm really excited to see what happens after 60 days of Carnivore. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know how you're doing on Carnivore or your health journey in general. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you next time.